Hi everyone, this is Melanie from melaniestamps.com. This is my first live project tutorial, and I'm going to refresh my screens here just so I can make sure I share this and give everyone a chance to jump in before I start. We are going to be using the cover project here, or the suite, which is called Come Sail Away. The brand new annual catalog went live yesterday. So these are all orderable items, and we now can show the inside of the catalog. So this is called the Come Sail Away suite. And the suite itself, for the entire suite, actually has its own item code if you want everything. But every item is individually marked as well. So we will be using quite a few of these tonight in tonight's project. So we're using this suite here on the front that is just beautiful. All of the nautical themes are really high in demand right now. So the suite itself is on page 145, and it's actually a three-page spread. You've got all the samples, and the set itself is just gorgeous. The stamp sets are distinctive, so they have the shadowing built in, and the papers and embellishments are awesome. So I'm going to set that aside, and there's a little bit of a lag from when I'm talking to when the video catches up. So I'm just going to go, and hopefully I've got it set up so you can see everything. So the first thing we're doing, we're making this card right here. It is inspired by a fellow demonstrator. Her name is Gail Sue, and you can find her on YouTube and also on Facebook. She has a card very similar to this that I cased, and I just added a little tiny bit extra, but the design is I just fell in love with it. So Gail, if you see this, thank you so much for inspiring this card. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be stamping the lighthouse in early espresso onto the label here. This label set is called Stitched Nested Labels, and I'm finding that I'm using it for everything. So make sure you definitely look into this. The suite that we're featuring next week is going to include these. So you might want to hold off on ordering until you see next week, because you might want to do the bundle instead of just buying the dies. I'm all for saving everybody some money. So we're going to be stamping the lighthouse right in the center here of our label. And then we're going to start inking, or sponging, I guess you could say. So I'm going to start with Sahara Sand, and we're going to be doing both at the same time, both pieces, the background piece and the lighthouse piece. So if you start off the page, you can create a pretty good blend. You're gonna hear my dog in the background. That's Mr. Dior. He's probably wondering why Mama's talking and not talking to him. Whoops. Let's see. So you want to line this up as if this was sitting on here. So now with as high as I went with that, that's about the right height for where the ground is. I might go up a little bit more. Okay, and then on this one, you're going to do the same thing, just at the bottom for the sand. Okay. And then next we're gonna do a little bit of pool party. And I am going to bring in a baby wipe here and just wipe that extra ink off of there. Because when I'm starting off the page, we get a little bit on there. Okay. So I'm going to start with pool party. And I'm just going to go in. This is the water. Let's go in right, pretty much right up, nestled next to the lighthouse then. To mess around. Are y'all dizzy having to look from the side? I bet y'all are dizzy. Like I said, if this is hard to watch, I will edit it and rotate it as soon as the video is done so that you don't miss out. Okay, so we're gonna also want to put that same level of water over here. So you see if it's sitting here, gives you an idea of where to sponge. We're going to be putting a little tiny dye right across here. So blending it there isn't a huge issue. Some of this is also going to be covered up by the label, of course. Just darkening it up a little bit on the edges. Okay, so that's our pool party. So next we will do Balmy Blue, which is the sky. And here again, we're just going, I'm starting off the page and rubbing in, and we're just going up to the edge of the lighthouse, as close as you can get it. Now, one thing Gail Sue has taught me, and I haven't bought it yet, is using glycerin, which I find very interesting the way she uses it. So make sure you check out her YouTube channel and see her blend with glycerin. I haven't been able to find it at the stores yet, but I'm gonna try it because it makes the blending just seamless, it seems like. There we go. And then we'll do this heart. I'm going to try to come to you live, if I can figure out the technicalities, each Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Up until my daughter calls me and says, "Hey, Mom, I'm having the baby. I'm in labor." Because my daughter is expecting our first grandchild. So, look at that. It looks like clouds by not going darker, doesn't it? That is so cool. But anyway, she's expecting our first grandchild, and it's due to come at the beginning of July, but you know how that is. It could come when it wants to come. So I may end up missing a week or so while I'm visiting her and helping her as she becomes a mommy, and I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, so we have all of our background here done. So now we're going to add just the little details. To this sand, what I did was I took soft suede. Now, the lighthouse is in early espresso, so I thought I'd go a little lighter, and I'm going to stamp off on the side and just go in and add some of this. I like the stamped off though, so it's like in the, you know, so it's not too harsh. But this is soft suede. And this stamp is actually from, I've got it right here, High Tide, the High Tide stamp set. And it goes along with the stamp set so well. I mean, you've got the Sailing Home and the High Tide and everything is just coordinates so beautifully. Like the birds here could be used on this one, and I'm actually using some birds from a third set, I believe. Hold on, let's see, which birds am I using? Oh, they're right there. I'm going to be using those birds, but this one also goes really well with the sailboats, Lily Pad Lake. So if you like coordinating products, those are for you. Okay, so we've got our little grass. I think I'm going to put one more on there. I lied, 2. There we go. And then it's going to be here. So I'm going to just add some to the background. Remember, I'm stamping off. Still a little one there. That'll show. Like turning it a little bit at an angle. See, I did that one full strength. Ha 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 ha. Well, it's good. You can see how a difference it is. You might like it full strength. Since I did that, I'm gonna go ahead and put a full strength one over here. Let's see how that looks. Okay, and I think I will do just a little off the page there. Okay, so we've got that done. So now I'm going to come in with this stamp here of these waves, and that is also from the High Tide stamp set. This stamp right here. So that is where I'm getting that from, and I am going to use one of our new in colors called Pretty Peacock. I love this color. You're gonna love this color too. When I saw the in colors at first, I didn't like them by themselves, but now that I've seen them with other colors, you know, with our other colors, I'm stamping this off too, by the way, but now that I've seen them, I'm like, oh my goodness, I like it. So I'm just putting a little of this. I am stamping this off too because it is a dark color. Here, I'm going to turn that around. Hopefully I'm still on camera. Not in the middle, but where you can see it. Looks like. Okay, so we've got Pretty Peacock done. So how are we looking? What y'all think so far? Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. This is one of the dies from the suite. Here's the set of dies. It's this one right here. And I love the labels. We're going to use this one in this project, but I love the labels. I also love the wheel and the anchor. The lighthouse, the anchor, and the 2 sailboats all cut out the stamps. It's just, this is really, really a nice set. I'm happy. That's why I grabbed it to do it first. Get the glue. Oops. I did a new one, and a new one comes out quick. I don't want to be sitting here struggling with glue. I'm really bad about having it go all the way to the bottom end, the end of the bottle, and I'm like fussing with it, trying to get it to come out. So you see that's going there. So it kind of breaks up the ground in the water. And then we still have the birds to stamp, but before, well, let's go ahead and do the birds. Let's see, the birds I did. Here's the stamp, and I did them in early espresso, full strength, so they kind of look like silhouettes. Get all my little pieces out of the way. Now this stamp, I noticed, I kept getting ink right here, so I went ahead and trimmed it, and it did a lot. It does a lot better now. So I'm going to stamp some birdies. up here around the lighthouse. Okay, and then we're gonna have some all over the card. Check the edges there. I'm just using a dry baby wipe here to, well, it's dried because of my ceiling fan, but just to get those edges, those little corners. You just want to tap real lightly so you don't pick it up. But these little seagulls remind me of a funny story. It's actually one of my very first memories as a child. My aunt, we used to be stationed, my parents and us, we used to be stationed at Homestead Air Force Base when I was, let's see, we moved there when I was 3 until I was 6. And my aunt would take me on the weekends, and we'd always have like a, you know, a girl weekend sleepover, and she would always take me to the beach. So there was one day that we were there, and she had bought me some popcorn, and we were just, you know, enjoying the day at the beach, and I accidentally dropped the popcorn. So guess what happened? I had a swarm of seagulls come rushing at me wanting the popcorn. And they were adamant they were getting the popcorn. So all these little seagulls make me think of that. Okay, so there's all of the early espresso seagulls stamped. I'm also gonna bring in this is Dark Daffodil Delight Blends marker, and I'm going to give this lighthouse just a little bit of a light up there. Easy peasy, right? And there's one other little sponge thing I'm going to do different on this card than I did on the sample. I'm going to take some Daffodil Delight, and I did this on a sample piece, and I can't find it now to show you. But I took just a little bit of Daffodil Delight, and I went just around here. Just a little bit. Make it look like the light is shining. So I really like the way that looked. So for the outline, I have cut the larger, well no, actually it's the same size, label. And what I'm gonna do is cut this in half. Okay, and we're gonna glue half at the top and half at the bottom, just to give it a border. I like all my stuff to have, you know, I don't like one layers. I like having borders or mats, I guess you could say, around a lot of them. And I'm using the white all-purpose glue by Tombow so that I can move it around just a little bit if I need to. I just love, I don't know if you can see in the picture, I love the little stitching design around the edge here. It's like it's pierced and embossed at the same time. There we go. And then we're going to use dimensionals, lots of dimensionals, to pop this up. Whenever I go to convention, I always see the little backs of these all over the place. Like I've seen them in the ladies' room even. It's like if it was glitter and it was coming off of people. The little backings are notoriously on everybody. What do you guys think of the lighted lamp? It makes it kind of cool, doesn't it? Let's see, make sure this is straight. Okay. Now we've got the little sentiment, which I will steal a block for. This is a sentiment from the set, and it just says thanks, which is something we all need all the time. Thank you cards. And where's my little piece? Here he is. I've already pre-die cut this. And I did early espresso. Oh, it's backwards. That's why it looks funny. See if I can do this without needing to stamp it again. Can she get it straight? Thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much. Okay. See, he's on my side tonight. So I'm also going to get all these in order here so I can show you them all at the end. I'm also going to use dimensionals on this little guy. And he's wide enough to use the full-size dimensional. We do have miniature ones too. But this is wide enough to have the full size. Okay, and I put that right down there. Thanks. And now for my measurements, I've got here a card base in A2 size, which is 4 1/4 by 11, and then scored in half. I've already put the paper on the inside. For your soft suede layer, it is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then the base of this that we used, that was very vanilla, is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And that is also the size I used on the inside. So I'm going to layer these up. You can see the back of this is dirty because I inked off the page and didn't use the wipe over and over. That glue everywhere. What's new? Luckily, adhesive eraser can be used at the end. And then we'll hook this last one on. Now, how easy is that, guys? It looks so much harder than it is. So much harder. But we're not done, because we have an envelope and we have an inside. So let me remove, I'm getting ink on everywhere. Let me grab a baby wipe real quick. Baby wipes to the rescue. Okay, so I'm going to take the ship. This is the small sailboat. And how about we do this, why don't we do this in the pretty peacock to match the card base. And I'm just going to put him right there. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Ooh, I love these distinctive stamps. And then we'll take the envelope. Let me rub this, make sure there's no ink on there. Don't want to ruin my pretty envelope. Okay, so we're going to take that, get some more ink on it, and let's put that right there. So they all match. So we have completed our project. Envelope and insides are done. I'm so proud of myself. I don't ever get those done. So let me show you just a few more samples here and the rest of the suite before we go. This is the Stampin' Up! Memories and More package. It's made like Project Life cards, but I haven't done Project Life cards with them. I actually like to make cards with them. They have these gorgeous, gorgeous little laser cut pieces in here. And you've got the small cards for journaling or the inside of your card, but it also has decoration, you know, both sides. So you can, look at that. That could just be a front right there. And then for the larger cards, they have a few sheets of these labels. They're stickers. And I've actually used these on the card I did yesterday that I showed, which is this one here. It looks like I've stamped the ship and did ink around the edges, but I haven't. I used the card. So the Memories and More card is this. Then I used a couple die cuts, and then rather than stamping, I used the stickers and the elements from the Memories and More pack. So these are all, you know, could all decorate your envelopes. It could decorate your insides. It could do a whole bunch of stuff. And these are just, I mean, some have journaling, some have, look at this piece. Some have design, if you can see that, but oh, it's gorgeous. This one here is like waves. It's really pretty. And you know, you can ink that too. You could ink that with some of the sponges we were just doing and make that pretty waves. Let me see real quick. Let's grab the one we were just doing. Doesn't have enough ink on it. This is an impromptu. I wasn't planning on doing this. But I'm curious. Are you curious? Look. Let's see, we could color those waves. And make it coordinate with our card front. And I bet you the pretty peacock would be pretty too. Look at there. Guess what I'm gonna do later? I'm gonna make me another card. That's really cool. So anyways, sorry for the sidetrack. Tempting to keep you just a half hour. So those were the Memories and More cards. And I really like that. Didn't that come out? And that was just like a couple seconds. So you could add a little, I'd probably add a little more pool party to it. But it looks pretty cool. So anyway, so that's how I made this card. And I showed that yesterday. These are the little trinkets that I used here for the anchor. These trinkets, I believe, are either limited supply or they are on back order at the moment. They may not be orderable just yet. But you've got the wheels and the anchors. And I used a little bit of the coordinating twine, which you can get as part of the suite. And I knotted it and hooked it to the anchor. And I used a glue dot under the knot and a glue dot under the anchor to keep it in place. So it looks like the boat has thrown out its anchor. It's a perfect day. So then the other cards, I'm just going to show you a sneak peek. This is tomorrow's card, and it's my favorite. So stay tuned for the details of that. And then this is Friday's, which is following a sketch. You'll have a sketch to play with on Friday. And then this is actually a Memories and More card also. This is one of the laser cut ones. And I've just die cut the wheels to add to it. Use the frame that's on the set. Use the stickers. And then use the little epoxy circles for the center of the wheels. So that's just a quick sneak peek. A couple of those you'll have more details on later this week. So, and then of course, the bundle, which I would say is a must-have. That's why it's Melanie's must-have of the week. So I hope you have enjoyed today's project. I hope you will give it a try. If you have any questions or need product information, just let me know. You can go to melaniestamps.com, and if your order is under $150, if you could use this hostess code when you check out, I would appreciate it. That just gives me a little bit of commission towards my supplies so I can bring you more projects. So if your order is over $150, do not use this because you get to earn the extra money. So you will get the little bit of commission. I believe it's 10%. At the minimum, it's 10%. So if you have a $150 order, you're going to get $15 in free product. Or if you want a lot of product, let me know and we can sign you up and get you a discount. So you get discounts on every order then. So, but either way, I just hope I've inspired. That's my goal, is to inspire. And I hope y'all have a great evening. Thank you for stopping by. Bye.